conference will now be recorded.
Environmental Advisory Council. So first order of business is hopefully everybody had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from our August meeting, and I found them to be acceptable, so I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's seconded by Mark. Great, that's done. Now, before we get into our business around the upcoming South Whitehall Township Sunset the Summer Festival event next Saturday, we do have a guest speaker tonight. So Paul has been kind enough to come and spend a little time with us to talk about the Little Lehigh Watershed Stewards.
Okay. Very good. So I'll just go ahead and share that, and then
So people online will be able to see the slides too, Chris. Okay.
There we go. Okay. All righty. Very good. Okay. So again, my name's Paul Younger, and I'm from Little Lehigh Watershed Stewards.
Oh, you want to?
I got one more. Yeah, that would be good. You can. Very good.
Oh, hey.
Can I sit here?
Yes, you can have that agenda. That's an extra.
Let's see, how do I
So we're waiting for you. Oh, if you use the wheel,
let's see.
it might have
Whoops.
just clicked through. There you go.
Whoops. Oh. That's the reason I played soccer. So anyway, I'm from Little Lehigh Watershed Stewards, and we're a local. We, as you can see on this map, let's see, you just go in the down arrows, I take it?
Yep.
This gives you a little bit of an idea as to what the watersheds that we cover. Basically, everything that feeds into the Little Lehigh, which also includes the Jordan, which runs through South Whitehall Township, as well as a number of other streams, which we can, oh shoot.
Yeah, you're assuming, Paul, that we can read that, but we.
Yeah,
we
it's
accept
a
what you say.
little challenging, but you can kind of see here. This is kind of the Little Lehigh, most of the Little Lehigh and its tributaries, and then this is most of the Jordan. We include the Jordan because it enters into the Little Lehigh just before it goes out into the Lehigh River. And you can see some of the different creeks that feed into it. Little Cedar Creek, which goes through Allentown, Trout Creek, which also goes through Allentown, and the Jordan and all of its tributaries there.
And I think this section of the Little Cedar goes through our township too.
Okay.
Yeah, right before, this is the Trexler Park and the city's golf course.
Yes.
Yeah, we have
Yep.
maintenance on that.
Very good. So in addition to being a local watershed organization, we're also a part of the larger watershed coalition of the Lehigh Valley, and that includes all the watersheds that are feeding into the Lehigh River, which then ends up going into the Delaware. So there's a coalition of about 10. So we meet with them on a monthly basis. There are some things that we do locally, and there's other things that we do with the group of 10 other watersheds. So, I mean, you can read our mission and vision statement there. Basically, what we're trying to do is to improve our local ecosystem and to improve the water and the around the streams that are feeding the Little Lehigh.
Well, do you provide any advisor type guidance to municipalities around the health of the watershed, or is that outside your scope?
That's probably a little outside of our scope. We've, as you'll see in our presentation here, we do some stream monitoring. We'll also, we've had people ask us about, like simple stuff like what kind of trees should we be planting in our watershed? Can you come over and look and see what we've got here? And give us any recommendations, and we can kind of, based on our experience and our knowledge, we can give them recommendations about that.
Question for Paul. For some reason, I was told, because I do cold therapy, that the water right above the fish hatchery is a perfect place to do cold therapy. I don't know why. Supposedly there's a cold stream and that's why they put the fish hatchery there, but you want to be above the fish hatchery for all the discharge, not below it.
Gotcha. Well, that would make some sense. That would make some sense. We have done,
Probably a fresh spring.
Yeah, and that's why they put it there.
yeah. In past years, we have, like measured temperature and and salinity and turbidity and those type of things. You definitely see where there's, input from, either different industries or from runoffs from warehouses and that type of thing. So there's a number of different things that we do, which I will go into. You can kind of see them listed up there. And all of these are geared, again, towards improving the, our local ecosystem. We do stream cleanups. We try to do at least one in the fall and one in the spring every year. We usually try to do one urban and one suburban cleanup a year. The last couple of springs, we've been down in Allentown, and in Allentown along Trout Creek, along Cedar Creek. I mean, there's always more than enough garbage down there to clean up, and we've been averaging about cleanups, especially in the springtime, because people are a little randy and they want to get out and do something. Our fall cleanups, which unfortunately need to be in towards November, we don't get as many people, but see a lot of the garbage that's there.
Well, question for you as well.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I'm kind of part of the DNL. And
Oh, okay.
around Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, along the DNL trail, there's a lot of homeless people, which I don't mind, but everything is disposable. They in their world, and they don't have any trash pickup, the DNL, obviously.
Yeah.
And so and it goes all over yeah. Is there any way to control that? Or because it's really disgusting.
It's pretty nasty. In some of our cleanups down in Allentown, it's like we've, hauled off, tents and sleeping bags and different stuff like that. Sometimes we just, if it's an area which is being used, we steer clear of those. If it's not being used, if it's only like one or two, we'll try to clean them up and take them out. Otherwise, we notify, Allentown that, because the other thing that you can run into, and usually it's like myself or somebody on the board that does that, just because, there can be needles and stuff like that, which is unfortunate, but it's a reality. And there's a lot of junk down there.
Yeah, just everything's just disposable.
Yep, absolutely. And we've done things like, there was a company upstream that was discharging these little plastic balls, and we traced it to their organization, and they supposedly cleaned up and were preventing it from then on. So, but anyway, again, these are usually these are good for a good community event, because it allows pretty much anybody can participate in these, and so these are usually pretty popular.
How do you get the word out about them for volunteers for that?
So we do a couple of things. One is that I have a list of about 130 people at this point that have participated in events in the past, and I will send it out to all of those folks. We do try to contact organizations like for Allentown, the Rotary and Kiwanis and those type of folks. The other thing which we do sometimes is go in. We actually go door to door and knock and try to get support that way. And ask people if they want to sign up. So we usually get like maybe 5-7 people doing that. But because we really do want people from the location to be participating in the event, you know.
But is it fair to say that I haven't been on a cleanup yet, but I know, I've seen through some of like your news blasts and everything through the email, you have a lot of people who are almost ready to go, just involved with the organization, right? Like probably like to mobilize like 20, 30 people.
Yeah, I mean, we can usually what we try to target like I said, in the springtime, it's like for a stream cleanup, it's like maybe 50 to 70 people. And then usually in the fall, it's like, we're counting on 20 to 30 people, something along those
Still
lines.
great though.
Yeah,
For
yeah, I
volunteers,
think
that's great.
we
Thank you.
get a pretty decent turnout. And we try to be reliable. Like we've been working with Allentown for the last couple of years. They have a very good relationship with Christian Bianco down there, who's the head of the Parks and Rec department. So we try to be accurate and let them know, how many we're going to have and how many we're going to be able to get out, because we don't want to give, false impressions. I know they've had issues in the past where people will say, we're going to bring 100 volunteers and they come up with, 10. We don't want to do that. We want to give a proper expectation.
Do you do anything for the volunteers, like do you give them lunch or anything? I'm just trying to figure out how
We
you.
do, we usually have coffee and donuts.
Okay.
The kids like the donuts pretty much. We had one that got postponed and my grandkids were like, well, Grandpa, where are the donuts? So.
Does the state or the local municipality provide any supplies? Because I've done road cleanups and PennDOT will provide trash bags and gloves and things like that. Do you get any, or do volunteers have to bring all their own supplies?
No, what usually the municipality provides all that. The municipality will provide the trash hauling. They provide trash bags. They'll often provide gloves. Usually I bring my own work gloves and stuff. And then and we coordinate with them. They'll usually have a guy or a gal from their organization will be there and will help them load up the trucks, but then they drive the trucks off and dump the stuff and come back. I know, and this past spring, I think he did like, no, I'm sorry, it was a year ago fall. He had I think 6 or 7 loads that he took off and dumped. So that was a good one.
Upriver.
Keep everybody busy.
I remember that piece of garbage.
Well, they're down the street.
Sounds true, okay, that's different.
Unless they brought it up this way. We do tree planting and maintenance. So we try to do tree plantings every, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the last couple of years, we've been kind of teaming up with Wildlands. We don't have a lot of money as an organization. Wildlands, they were able to purchase trees, and so they've been purchasing the trees, and then we've been trying to get the bulk of the volunteers in for these events, and we coordinate with them. And so between, the Wildlands, the municipality and ourselves, we kind of team up to do these. We're usually planting on the order of, this past spring, we actually planted, I think it was like 90 trees. I mean, it was quite a few. Usually it's less than that. And we do these plantings in the riparian area. We always, select riparian species. And those events usually encompass maybe, it could be anywhere from 15 to 30, 35 people for those. And again, we do one in the spring and one in the fall.
Still a robust amount of people.
Yeah, we're very thankful. Yeah, thank God we do get a pretty good turnout. We also do maintenance, and that maintenance can be anything from retubing. As you know, in our area, we have an extraordinary number of deer. So if you wanted to encourage people to do trophy hunting near your streams, that would be a wonderful thing. But we sometimes have to retube or set the stakes in deeper if we're still depending on the stake to hold the tube in place. We also, in some of our areas, we have a reed canary grass, which is a grass that will grow up around the trees, which gives perfect habitat for voles, which will come in and they can kill a tree that's like, up to about that big around. I've had trees that are like 3 years old now, and I see them and they're leaning over like this, and here the voles have come completely girdled the root collar, and so they're pretty nasty. So we actually just bought a brush hog with the string trimmer brush hog in order to mow around the trees to hopefully prevent the voles from coming in towards the tree, because they'll feel like they're in the open, and hopefully the hawks will do their job.
Paul, have you ever encountered any, like the watershed organization signing any official maintenance agreements? I know sometimes with the grant programs that will provide trees, they like to have like a 5-year maintenance agreement.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
We've never done that. We've taken responsibility for our plantings, because really, with the tree planting is like maybe 40 to 50% of the effort. Because if you don't maintain those, the chances of them surviving is pretty limited. In the riparian area is very harsh. We do have some advantage in Allentown because they are actually in parks, so they're mowing around them, which is a good thing. But the maintenance is pretty key for these. And we always use, now we only plant trees that are tall enough to be above the browse line of deer, because we've planted small, like little saplings and stuff, and like our survival rate is like 10% or less. So I won't. Somebody else wants to do it, that's fine, but I'm not going to be doing it.
Planting a buffet.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So how tall, Paul, at what level are you above the tree on the deer danger line?
So usually we're buying 7-gallon specimens for the most part, and that usually gets us like about anywhere from like 6 to 8 feet tall.
Okay, so you're.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And in addition to that, until a tree is probably 5 inches to 6 inches in diameter, it can be destroyed by deer. And so we have to make sure, and that unfortunately requires a reasonable amount of follow-up in order to make sure that, number one, that the tree tube isn't, constricting the tree, but in addition to that, that we do have coverage until it's big enough to keep the deer from, girdling it.
What is the season of the deer? What is a like start date that you worry about till the end date?
Probably like, August 1st to,
Soon.
till, into late October. Because that's the time that they could potentially be in velvet. And some, I feel like sometimes that they're just spiteful and they want to destroy my trees too. It's probably not true, but they definitely, when they're getting rid of their velvet and during the rut, that they do a lot of damage.
So we're right in the middle of it now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. In fact, our president, who lived in Salisbury, they bought some nice like 12-foot high specimens. They were like 3 inches in diameter, and she was like, please give me some tubes to put on these trees. Yeah. And they didn't do it, and then like within a couple of weeks, like 4 out of the 12 were shredded.
Jeez.
And and that's not those trees are probably like $300 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah. We do invasive species removal. This past spring, we worked with Allie, and down on the Jordan, we removed some Japanese knotweed. That's what we've been doing. And basically what that involves is chopping it down in the June timeframe, and then a few weeks later, we depend on the municipality to go in and spray. And it'll probably take, a year or 2 or 3 in order to really kill those spaces. Because it's incredible how intense they are.
What do you spray on it to kill it?
I'm assuming like glyphosate.
Yeah, it's called Roundup Aquatic. It's specifically for spraying by the water. It doesn't have the surfactant in it. which I think is what's bad for the fish and aquatic life. But it's still glyphosate. It's the only thing that works. It's what
Yeah.
everyone recommends basically.
Yeah,
It's
we,
a really
For that
nasty plant.
purpose, for that, yeah.
yeah, we don't really do any spraying ourselves at this point. We depend on the municipalities and, we would certainly like to not have to do that, but from everything that we've read, it's required. In fact, we're working with, Upper Macungie right now because we identified some tree of heaven that they have. So we're working with them to see what, next, mid to late summer, we're gonna be working with them to get rid of a bunch of tree of heaven at a local park that they have there. So. We do water testing. Most recently, we've been doing this thing called a salt snapshot. And what we're trying to do, that's in conjunction with the next slide, is to see how much salt do we have in our groundwater. Because as you may or may not be aware, if you're getting your water from like the Lehigh Authority, they don't take out salt. So if you're older guy like me who's taking blood pressure medicine, it doesn't help to have increased sodium levels because they don't remove that from the water. They remove bacteria, but not salt. And so what we have done the last 2 years is take a salt snapshot later in the summer when creeks are down and most of the water that's in the creek is from groundwater and not runoff, and try to get an idea as to where we are as a community and as a watershed. We also do education. This is Hydromania. That's an event where they have a bunch of third and fourth graders come in. I think it's like 400 or 500 of them, and we try to teach them about water and teach them about the watershed and the water cycle. And so that's usually that's quite a bit of fun.
Do you do that on site?
We do.
Travel around doing that?
This actually, I believe, is at Cedar Crest College. Is where they have this.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. We also do outreach. In fact, we're going to be doing a tabling event in Upper Macungie Township this Saturday. And they're having a Latin concert, and so we'll have a table up there, and we'll have information about ourselves, about the watershed, about what folks can do in order to improve the watershed, and just kind of get the word out. We set up at the Allentown Fair and shared information there to try to get people interested in water cleanliness and what they can do and how they impact their watershed. Advocacy, this is kind of related to the water sampling that we do. We have a couple of ladies on our board that are working across the state with other watershed organizations, trying to help raise the awareness of salt pollution. And so they are we do things like doing the salt snapshot. They also have worked with a number of different municipalities within this area to try and reduce the amount of salt that's used. That can be either through brining, which reduces the amount of salt, as well as reduces the cost for the municipality. Work on them with about calibrating their equipment, because oftentimes the equipment is not calibrated and you can see a bunch of white all over the place. We also we try to work with contractors. The president of our organization is now working with Lehigh Valley Hospitals because she noticed that it was just their parking lot was just white. And so private contractors, I think, are responsible for maybe 35% of the salt that's applied in our area. So there's a lot of opportunity for improvement there. And also we lobby state lawmakers, both to work towards creating, best practices to be accepted across all the municipalities in Pennsylvania, and to try to, make them aware also of the pollution that we're putting into our streams by using salt.
Paul, have you seen, does LTAP do any specific, have you seen, do they have a specific program on this, or is it, see the mention there, is it just trying to get them to incorporate into the other programs that have you seen them dive into anything? I know I participated in a webinar that was like a Mid-Atlantic
Okay.
training, but
I know, I'm not 100% sure. That's not my area. I know what I know in Maryland, when you're talking about the Mid-East, I mean, I know Maryland has some pretty good policies on best management practices for applying salt. I think beyond that, I could certainly ask Mary or Jennifer.
yeah, to see if there's anything. I know they try to adapt new programs, and we've worked with them on, not related to this, but like adapting new programs and things like
Okay.
that. They're usually pretty open to, more contemporary training, like what are people needing, what are people seeing.
Okay.
Well, what is LTAP?
Local Technical Assistance Program, so it's through PennDOT, and what they do is they provide training for municipal public works departments on road maintenance and that sort of thing, or even with planners and engineers for transportation planning.
Okay.
But it's all free, I believe. It's all free training for municipalities.
So this is just a quick review of the upcoming volunteer opportunities. We do have a tree planting down in Cedar Creek in Allentown on the 29th of October. We're doing that in conjunction with Wildlands, as well as Vic Tolick is going to be bringing a number of volunteers for that. So that's during the week. We're doing a stream cleanup down at Fountain Pool Park, which is along Martin Luther King Boulevard in Allentown. And then we are doing a salt snapshot sometime between October 2nd and 15th. We can't necessarily state the date, just because it depends on making sure that there hasn't been a recent surface water event, and also that we have enough volunteers for that particular day.
How much training do you need with your volunteers before that, or do you do it at the event?
For these events?
For the salt snapshot.
For the salt snapshot, Jennifer does training with the volunteers. She's already had one of the trainings, and then she sent out information as far as what we have to document, what do we have to be careful about when we're taking the sample, that type of thing. And what can your township do? Again, teaming with Little Lehigh on projects like we discussed. We do have this really cool watershed map in case you want to purchase that and post it someplace. It's pretty slick. And add smart salting information. So that's information for local homeowners to educate them about salt pollution, and also, asking the winter maintenance team to consider additional salt reduction practices. And like I said, Jennifer and Mary would have the information on that in order to compare best practices and compare that to what you're doing now, and seeing maybe there are opportunities for improvement and saving money and also helping the environment. Questions?
So Paul,
Let me just close this so that we can make sure we can still.
You're actually just making sure she's still there.
I just want to make sure Marie was still there.
Didn't leave.
Yeah. Marie, were you able to hear us okay? Okay.
Yes, and I had questions, I'm just waiting.
Oh, fire away.
Okay, Chris, or I'm not quite sure who's speaking sometimes, I can't hear you real clearly. What does LTAP stand for?
local technical assistance program. It's through PennDOT. It's training for municipalities and road managers.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to know. The next item, I think, is the speaker's name Paul?
That is me.
Okay, great. I'm just wondering, in our area, has anyone considered, any of the municipalities considered using goats to remove some of the vegetation because they can do sometimes invasive vegetation. They can do a much better job than people can. Just curious about that because I know they've used them throughout the country.
We have not looked at goats yet. I will have to confess that.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, okay, because it's something we looked at for our property.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah,
tried it years ago at Wildlands, and I think they ate everything. So I think they did too good of a job that it was kind of, it was a bit of a
You
wash.
need a monitor. You
Yeah,
need some,
yeah.
you can't let them go.
Your nature's glyphosate.
I'm trying to think, I thought that I had another question, but I think that's it. Okay, so yes, thanks.
So Paul, my question was, I drive past the Jordan Creek and it's not flowing into anything right now. So do the abnormally dry conditions we've been experiencing create any additional issues for the watershed?
I mean, I am sure that it does. I guess we haven't really concerned ourselves with that too much because there's, we don't really have control over that
Yeah,
one.
right. I'm just wondering if there's other things you monitor because of it, it being exceptionally dry, or there are other
Yeah,
issues
I mean,
that
being
come?
exceptionally dry helps us, like, again, with our salt snapshot, because it means that everything that's in there is groundwater, which for our purposes is good. I know that when we do plantings, especially if in the springtime we have drought conditions, then we actually have to go in and we have to somehow get water to the trees until they get established, that can be challenging.
Apologies for my ignorance. How do you work with the Lehigh County Conservation District, if at all, or is that? I mean,
We've done a little bit of work with them.
Yeah.
We helped them a little bit on the spring planting in Lower Macungie this past year.
Do I understand correctly that they would also oversee the watersheds in some way, or are they not? Are they more regulatory?
They do work on the watersheds, is my understanding. I've worked with a couple of ladies from there. Maggie, his last name is in my computer. There we go. And then the other lady's name escapes me. Laura, that's it. Exactly. And so I know that they do like stream restoration. I know that they do plantings, like the Watershed Coalition of Lehigh Valley was helping them do a meadow.
Yeah.
I don't know, that may have been I don't know if that was in South Whitehall or Upper
By the
Macungie.
baseball fields,
Yeah.
Yes.
Lehigh County, it's South Whitehall.
Okay,
The
so that
county-
one.
The county manages that section of the park.
Gotcha. So, yeah, so we some of the members from our smaller watershed group, it was more of a, WCLB
Sure. Okay.
effort.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, they
Sure. I
have,
was trying to get it all straight.
the conservation district really has kind of two arms. So there is a regulatory side, and
Yeah.
then there's also, as Paul mentioned, kind of the watershed side, which
Right.
does education, does a lot of
Sure.
these types of plantings. From the regulatory side, what they
Yeah.
look at is anything going into the stream as far as
Sure.
overflow sedimentation. So they look at erosion and sedimentation control for land developments.
Yeah.
And the amount of sediment that would be at an area they can enforce if there's not the correct
Yeah.
practice happening. So yeah, they can get called out in that sense.
Okay.
And and our organization does look to work with all of the different municipalities within the watershed, and we'd like to have a relationship. And so, you know, if you have places, I know we looked at, the park at, in, the Covered Bridge Park for a potential stream cleanup, but
There's fortunately not that much.
yeah, I was gonna say, wow, you guys did a pretty good job, you know? I mean, it's a lot different than some of the places we worked at, like especially down in Allentown. It's not nearly, there's not a lot of garbage there. Some stuff to pick up, but not a whole lot. So, but anyway, we would be interested in working on projects like that with you, and want to establish those relationships. So as you see, you know, opportunities in some of these areas, you know, please reach out. I'm sure that we'll be reaching out to you in the future. And like I said, we have done some work with Ally already, which has been, because it worked very well.
Interesting question. Maria was talking about goats. And I know that a lot of the other countries in the world, in spring, they let their grass grow tall for the bees. And for other economic, environmental benefits. And I think the residents of South Whitehall Township may not approve of tall grass for ticks or whatever reason or so forth. But that always struck me as something like you know what I'm talking about, Chris.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and
Yeah,
I think
ordinance.
there's even an ordinance that prevents it, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have an idea about that, Chris. I wanted to, we can do it now, but I have a thought. I had
Oh,
thoughts
good,
on that.
okay, sure.
A whole little jingle. Yeah.
No mow May, right?
There you go.
That's a trend that's been,
Yes.
What did you say?
no mow May.
No moment. See, I love that.
You don't mow your lawn for all month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, first you get fined by the township if you did.
I've talked to the code enforcement officer, I let him know we want him to stay for one of our meetings. I'll make code enforcement officer come tonight.
planting native flowers and native bushes and trees is, that probably is even better, because then it's there all summer, and you and
looks nice.
sometimes
Yeah.
what's in your lawn, like what's in my lawn is mostly just weeds, and a lot of it's invasive, so it doesn't help as much. So we're trying to put in a bunch of natives and stuff.
Chris, do you think we could take some of the information around salting practices and post it on our website, our township website? Or
Yeah, so I did write that down to check in with you, or maybe with
Yeah.
Mary on what you have
She
already.
she and Jennifer have a reasonable amount of stuff already.
Yeah, I think we'd
I
like
think
to
that they-
see
they
that
would have
Yeah, because I
definitely
think,
for
it
residents.
certainly is an issue, and,
Yeah,
I think if we could do something to help educate.
yeah, I didn't know that they even had that. I know
Yeah.
that they were working with municipalities. I did invite Herb to come, I know, but I think we'll kind of, follow up with him on, that aspect of the township aspect, but I didn't realize you had good materials for even just, what residents are doing in their practices. And certainly with the, I didn't even think about that, with the private contractors.
Yeah, that's a real area of opportunity, because they even have less control than the municipalities.
I mean, I'm really surprised by the number of 30% of it being from private contractors. I would never guess that.
Well, but they have those huge parking lots, right? And
Yeah,
liability
right.
is such a big thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the warehouses, and
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I think she has like a pie chart of like what are the contributors to all of the salt pollution.
Oh, wow.
So you could see it, and hopefully my number is correct.
Yeah.
It is, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's serious.
So
That's
what are
serious.
No, either one. doesn't
what are
matter.
the safe alternatives that you promote then, that the
I mean,
For residents?
Contractors.
contractors,
I would go-
or residents, I suppose,
Oh.
all the above, yeah.
so the challenge that we have is that we're a very litigious society,
Yes.
and if it looks white, it's like, oh, well, that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think we have that, so we have to retrain that mindset, because like and Jennifer knows this better than I do, it's like if you, like for the average driveway, it's really like a cup of salt would alleviate your issues, would keep the ice off. I mean, you have to plow it and get the snow off, but as far as eliminating, ice, that's what you need,
Wow.
because it's a very small amount. And we're not saying necessarily that you eliminate salt, but brining, which actually they do in Allentown right now, which is a good thing. Also looking at the plows, because if there are types of plows that kind of more conform to the road better. They're like segmented plows versus having one big plow across the front. And by having segmented plows, that means the amount of ice and snow that you're trying to melt reduces considerably.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. We don't, like as far as alternate materials to melt ice, and again, Mary and Jennifer are probably better at this. I don't think that they're like a heck of a lot better.
I know, or cheaper, right?
Yes, yeah, they might be more expensive. Like,
I've heard like ash and coffee grounds, but we couldn't use that.
That's my dad. My dad would use ash from the stove, and it's like, that gets everywhere, you know? It's a whole other issue, but.
You can only drink so much coffee in the winter.
Well, to get into issues with, depending where the ash comes from, it could have trace metals in it. All kinds of
Well,
stuff that would be very bad for the
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
In the coffee grinds, do they end up getting traced in the house when they get them received?
Imagine.
probably.
I really like the public education material,
Yeah.
so I think that would be huge. I know Ally and I have talked about part of the challenge, not only what we can do in our practices, is also making sure that the community is on board with our practices, because that's
And
also.
let's see what the materials look like, but maybe
Yeah.
that's an article in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to write up something.
yeah, that sounds great.
yeah, I'll let them know, because I think they do have some of that information. And and the other thing which it helps to do is like, so if the township changes their practices, at least if the people are educated, then they're going to say, oh, okay, well, that's a good thing,
Yes,
as
that's-
opposed to, what are you trying to do, kill us?
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
The other thing was they have a graph of the salt usage in the United States, and it's like in like 2000, 2005, it just starts ramping up like crazy. And it kind of, when I was a kid, I grew up in Ohio, and there was like snow in the road. You drove through snow, and you didn't, if you didn't have snow in the road, like they used to do something called hooky bobbing, which is you grab onto the back of a bumper and you ride along. It's not too bright, but kind of a weeder for the
Just watch the turns.
yeah. Any other questions?
No, thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much for your
so
time.
much. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Nice
Yeah.
Nice to meet
We'll
you.
definitely be in touch.
Yep, hope to work with you in the future.
Yes, you're welcome to stay if you want for the rest of the meeting, but if not, we understand.
I really would like to, but.
You want to go?
Bye.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, but it sounds like there's a real good public education opportunity, materials they have, so let's follow up on that.
Yeah.
They have a huge volunteer base too, which is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
To get that many people to show up, that's good.
Yeah, I'm on their email list because I haven't gone out. It's hard, but they're very like family friendly. I mean, they have kids out all the time. They meet not far from my house. I actually think that their meeting was tonight. So Paul came. We've been trying to line this up, but yeah, they get people to go and they show up and they just get to work. Yeah, it's
That's so
not a
great.
lot of
And like I said, I've done road cleanups, and it can be very unpleasant. Some of the stuff you find, so I'm sure at creeks, it's probably.
Well, when they did the, what was it, knotweed removal? I mean, they knew what they were doing, right? Like, as far as how to get in there and hack that stuff. Like,
I'm the trash though, you get all
Yeah.
kinds of.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Same, I
shopping
think they're
carts.
fine, like.
We're lucky in South Whitehall Township, we have very nasty signs discouraging people from going even near the creek.
After 7.
Okay, let's move now to the upcoming Sunset to Summer Festival, which is coming up this Saturday, so 4 to 8. First off, I want to thank Sarah for doing a lot of work to pull together our materials, our handout materials. So first, I want to make sure that everybody had a chance to see those. Eric, you commented. Marie,
I have them up. If you guys wanted to,
Though.
yeah, if you want to
I
go.
took out the unsmiley, the unhappy face.
Yeah, I agree, that was a good comment. Yeah.
it was just a little too biased.
Well, you know,
Just a little.
I was surprised it took that long for you guys. I said, to be honest, I'm like, well, let's see if this just slides, you know.
Well, we'll use our presence there to try and persuade people.
Yeah.
We don't have to hit them over the head with.
But yeah, that's not, did I not
Icons.
send the most updated one?
These are the ones that I had from last week.
But I will, but.
No, you did send them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, then I must have pulled the one, so this is what you're talking, you took
That
this out.
face is gone.
It's just a
Okay.
red box now
And,
with a check.
Part of the reason I also didn't worry too much, because I didn't know if there are any other comments tonight. Will you have time to edit anything if there are comments tonight?
Yeah.
If no one else had comments, I had one comment on this, and I think, Derek, did you mention something about
The latest version did address Derek's comment about
the final
specific
comment?
about the EIT
Okay.
and
Yeah, I
not
think
the
you-
property
I
taxes.
think you even tweaked it a bit more. I think I had the general idea, and then I think you put
So we did,
actual.
Okay.
so that where it's a slight increase in annual tax bill.
That's now removed.
It's more specific.
I guess my question is, do you even need to have it?
I want to be fair.
Okay.
I don't think we want to sugarcoat, one reason to vote no is because you don't want an increase in your taxes. So
Fair.
I think we have to
Yeah.
be fair about that.
Yeah, I guess, and for people picking this up for the first time, not having heard about it, to understand what it is a tax increase in a sense. My only comment was this, if we could reword this a little bit, ongoing risk of overdevelopment of township land. I don't want, I get what you're saying there. I guess if there's just another way to reword it, because I also don't want this to look like, okay, if this is the only opportunity to manage growth in an appropriate way.
Fair.
Because we also have a number of other land use changes that we're trying to get support for that I think help with this. Zoning updates and so forth. We've talked about the Jordan Valley Preservation Overlay. We're changing Saldo. So I don't want this to be kind of an all or nothing. I mean, we've always talked about it from community development as this is a tool, one tool in the toolbox. You have the EIT that allows you to actively go after open space properties that are attainable that you can purchase. You have zoning changes that you can, try to manage development in an appropriate way, and then you can, redirect through other, planning practices of changing zoning or encouraging land uses in certain areas. I feel like this, especially coming from the township, like
Just take it out. I mean,
You
the
could
other
say manage.
bullets.
Just use the
I'm trying to
word-
compare it to the other bullets. Is there like another?
The other bullets kind of say, I think what. we
Yeah,
said.
like it's a sensible balance between development and open space preservation.
I'd say like less control in the development, like the development decisions.
Uncertainty in the
Uncertainty
future
is the
of
word.
the.
Well, the loss is the loss of planning, right? Like if you have funding, then you're able to be part of the visioning of what South Whitehall is gonna look like. If you don't have funding, then you have no control over what that vision's gonna be, because you can't fund it.
Exactly. I
Right.
think it's more the
It's like the seat at the table.
Yes,
Kind of thing.
yes.
Like I can be here and I can say, I would like this to be ours. And
Yes.
otherwise, it's the developers who have the vision, and there's no, strategic.
That
plan.
sounds like a yes.
Well, yeah,
no, I think
like, obviously,
losing the
yes.
seat at the table.
It's like, sorry, I showed up here. I literally want to see the table.
I think what you're saying is that the no bullet could be losing that seat at the table that we're gaining with this. So if there's
Which is already stated. limited ability to compete with developers.
Yeah.
Which I really like. Maybe we can move that sentence to the top. Change
Well, there's
the
two.
sentence.
I'm on a different page.
But the limited ability to.
Oh, funding.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
sentence.
funding, yeah.
So what it is one of them, this one is gonna be a big billboard,
Mhm.
right? And then there's one that's a flyer. That
Yeah, this
has
is the
front
back
and
of the handout.
But they're both gonna have the same bullet points.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so just to kind of summarize here, so I'm gonna take out the ongoing risk of overdevelopment of township land. Do we have, and I'm gonna move limited ability to compete with developers up to the top. And then that leaves us with 4 bullets. Do we want to add another no? I think if there's 5 up top, we should have 5 below.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying that, but I disagree with that statement. The less people don't want to read a lot. You don't have to say things if it's given, just make it simple. Do you know what I mean? You give so much, people are just gonna like tune out.
So you think 4 below is fine?
Could we,
I think an even number is nice.
Like weighing like OCD versus like, you know.
Yeah,
Trying to get the message across.
Yeah, I think people don't want to read a
There
lot.
should, I think there should be more no reasons, or more no reasons.
well, you're pitching it as an
With
either
yes
or,
reasons, but-
right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you though. I think
that's the
if there's a
sense
lot
of this.
no's, it's also.
You have 2 choices, and they are, you have to kind of pick one as a voter. And
Yeah.
you're either going this route or this route. If you
What about the word uncertainty? Can that be used in a
That's a great
sentence?
word. Use.
Uncertainty, blah, blah, blah.
in the no section,
In the no section.
Uncertainty in the future of the current landscape, like the changes made to the current landscape.
I like something like that. Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
what it's gonna look like then, you don't know what the.
Can we relate it to the first one? And I'm someone who likes parallel, right?
Mhm.
Like, so uncertainty in our ability to maintain the natural beauty of the township.
There was a sentence I read somewhere online a while ago, and it was just like the overall landscape of the township, just how it's, the layout and how it looks, like what you grew up with or whatever, and it can just be totally changed.
Hmm.
Can't remember.
And I had a little bit of a comment on that, for that first bullet that I've highlighted, to instead of just the beauty, maybe part of that, because that was something that we certainly found in the landscapes plan. It's not just like the visual of it, it's almost that,
Nostalgia.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that was a big touch point. And
There's the long-term effects of just bringing so many more people in, you don't even realize all the traffic it'll create and all the things it'll change, and how it'll affect your life.
Totally. Memories. So, but to go back to what you were just saying, Chris, like we need a word. We need a word for that. Natural beauty and.
Comes a rural in there, or that's too much?
you say moral,
Rural?
rural. What about
Natural beauty.
cultural landscapes?
Well, it's fine. It's not
Maintain
that.
and enhance natural beauty of cultural landscapes. See, I think like
Well, how about preserve?
yes.
Preserve
Great word.
character
Yeah.
of the township or something like that.
Character, yeah.
Yes.
Maintain and enhance natural beauty and preserve.
Where you're saying preserve,
And preservation of the township, or,
Shows
sorry,
character.
Good word.
character.
preserve. What was that? Because I like maintain for the referendum. If that was specific to talk about, like, there is that maintenance component, but I like preserve better in the bullet, if that makes sense.
Oh, instead of maintain.
Yeah.
So preserve
Preserve
and
character of the
enhance.
township or something like.
How about preserve the charm,
Preserve and.
I like character a lot.
character?
Preserve current character of the township or.
Preserve and enhance character and natural beauty of the township.
I like that.
Put the character first, because then we're saying whatever you think you like,
Right.
and also the nature.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you want it to be, that's what we're preserving.
All right, good.
Yeah, how things are.
Character.
And with the increase in taxes, I go back to what you say, Frank, should it say what percentage so that people know?
Well, just a slight increase. I mean,
Right, but that's kind of.
it's a 10% tax increase,
Well,
so I think we say a 10% tax
Can we say
increase.
10% on local, just your local or whatever? Should it say the exact number?
Sorry, is it 10% or 0.1%?
Or it's-
I
Well,
think
it's
it's
point
whatever on
one
the
percent
ballot,
is a
isn't it?
10% increase, because the
It's-
current tax is 1%.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Well, but
yeah.
do they all know that? I would say a 0.1% increase for sure.
Well,
That's
it's
what
not-
I worry about. So when this is being shared with people, not to like avoid the question, but I don't want to confuse them either. In like if they have questions.
So
On
the
that.
bullets don't say that, but the narrative
Yeah.
does say that.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think we need numbers in the bullets. I mean, that's.
You don't think so? Because you could technically say, add to what you're saying, is could say from 0.1% to 0.11%. Yeah,
It's
like
1.1. It's at 1.0 now.
Right,
It was
it's say
1.1.
it would increase the tax rate, your local tax from 0.1 to 0.11. And then people are like, okay, it doesn't
Just
sound.
like, they're ones,
Yeah,
it means
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, it makes it,
Yeah.
it is 10%, but the number sounds very
There's a
less.
decimal, yeah. Small.
It doesn't, it's very doable. And it's.
Well,
yeah.
like we say in the narrative, right, of those communities within EIT, dedicate to open space preservation, rates range from 0.1% to 0.25%. Note that the proposed rate for South Whitehall Township is at the low end of this range at 0.1%. So
Who do you want to put something like average
I would,
$100 a year increase?
I wouldn't put the number in the bullets, but that's
Okay.
just me. I think it's just.
I mean, the bullets are supposed to be less information, more
Yeah.
thought, I think, than actually, I mean, I love numbers, but they don't belong here.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think that on the day of, if we are questioned, we can only point them in your direction.
Well, I think you have it right here.
No,
I think,
so-
yeah.
Not only, just as long as we're unified in what we say, that's all.
We
Yeah.
just had to say it's
Right.
the earned income tax,
Right.
right? I mean, that's the key. Is if you pay earned income tax, it's going to go up by 10%.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that so this is going to be on the back of this.
Yes.
So this
Right.
handout, they will have both of these. Yeah.
So
I-
I just, okay.
Oh, I would still say, instead of saying it's gonna go up by 10%, I would say it's gonna go up from 1% to 1.1%.
Yes, which is why.
Which
you get
is 10%.
why-
I understand it's exactly the same, but I feel like people will hear it very differently.
Which is why I didn't put 10% increase.
I agree, but I'm just saying, if it's being verbally communicated,
Yeah.
we are not
yes.
saying up 10%.
No, I-
Like,
I get
your point.
That was Frank's mean
It's
like,
actually-
tone to like, why are we gonna put this in there? So
Yes.
Frank's against the
I think
10%.
the number
If
itself
now,
is
if one people vote now, tell them.
Yeah.
the taxes
Just
are
like
up.
just
Yeah.
increasing the tax bill, no increase in tax bill. I'm like, well, I don't want my taxes increased, but it's like you're going from 1% to 1.1%.
Yeah, and I,
And
yeah.
that's it.
not-
And
let's
that's
not
it.
shy from it.
Well, and the wording is different now, right? It's not.
Well, that's, yeah.
Oh, yes, true. Okay.
It
Word
says
is
no
just to be-
increase in property taxes.
Thank you, right,
What
that's,
were you
so
saying,
that's,
Sarah?
I was just gonna say, that it says now slight increase in earned income tax with no change to property taxes. So that is what the last bullet under the yes column now says, but I can change that, obviously, if you wanted to put.
And so,
It's confusing.
yeah, so if it said, our local earned income tax rate from 0.1% to 0.11%.
1% to 1.1%.
Yeah, and, cause it's a very, it's not an aggressive number or an offensive number.
I
It's
agree
it's
with
a
you.
10% tax increase. I don't think we want to highlight that.
In a bullet. Yeah,
In a
again,
bullet.
it's, you don't want numbers in bullets. It's like a.
It's a small number, but it's
Yeah,
a
but it
10%
says it on the
increase.
backside.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do whatever the group wants, but I just don't think we want to highlight that. And draw people's attention to the fact that we are asking it for a 10%.
It does sort of invite them to argue over that particular number, which is not the point.
And the numbers are here, right? We
Yes,
just say,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
here's more information with the numbers. I mean, we could
Right.
just refer them to it on the back of the same sheet. I mean, I
Okay,
just don't think,
that's
I don't think we wanna,
I understand.
you know,
Okay.
we could put a box around it with like, we could highlight it.
Yeah, clearly
Oh,
this is a biased bullet list and numbers bias it the wrong way.
I think.
Yeah, I agree with
Okay,
that.
we respect that. We respect that.
So just to be clear, I mean, I'm guessing all the changes will be in the minutes, but should I?
Well, that's it. Do you want me to
I
take
kind of-
notes on, so this bottom one you've changed, and that now says, my concern with the property, having it as the, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think the change
I'll
is
read
good.
it one more time. Slight increase in earned income tax with no change to property taxes.
Yeah.
Too wordy.
I think it's a little wordy, and I also, not that there isn't a property tax increase proposed, but like, what happens if all of a sudden, you know, there's a property taxing, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, we're talking about the open space referendum.
Yes,
The
yes,
open
yes, yes.
space referendum does not authorize the township to increase property taxes, right?
yes, but the township could increase property taxes if they,
I know, but this is specific to the open
Yes,
space
yeah,
referendum.
yeah.
isn't it?
He's just trying to figure out.
I'm just, yeah, I don't want, I want to always have something that we're in control of.
Okay,
Like,
but you,
passing this on November doesn't say that there could never be a property tax increase. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's- yeah, that's only the,
but I'm trying to be sensitive to the point you made last time about the fact that this is
it's,
only earned income tax, right?
yes,
So-
which I think is a big benefit for people to understand. Yeah, I don't know,
Would it-
I don't know how
would it
people are gonna react.
I mean, should we, do you want to take out no property tax increase or just say slight increase in earned income tax?
I think for, like brevity, I do kind of like that.
Okay.
We put like details on this one. It's probably already in there.
It is.
The short and
So the last bullet would say slight increase in earned income tax.
I'm gonna say, I mean, again, I think we have more older people who vote statistically. They're the ones who are more concerned with property taxes increases. And I think we really want to sell that. Also, someone coming from out of state, earned income taxes are weird to me. I
Yeah,
mean, I've been here 20 years, it's still weird.
yeah,
So
sure,
people
you're not
Jersey told me I don't pay
familiar
$1
with
million
what
in
you're-
property tax, but
Yeah.
I don't have earned income tax. So
Yeah,
that's why I tried to clear it. And again, that was, I think the point was, you know, seniors vote more, they're the ones more concerned with property taxes. And that is a selling point. I think it's,
Well, in fact, I mean, if you, the documents that you shared about the other municipalities have done this, they actually marketed the idea to seniors that they weren't going to pay the tax.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, vote yes for this because you're not going to pay it.
right, exactly. That's what I think is a
That's
huge
right.
selling point. I mean, that's, we want to hit at this.
But I
I just want to be
For
fair.
sure
I want to
that-
be fair though, right? I don't think we want it to
Well,
be.
it's stating a fact that
Yeah.
will not affect your property taxes.
And I think it
that's-
should, I think it should state that because people will, I agree, the senior voters, well, how's that gonna affect my property tax? This has no effect on property tax. Voting yes to this, it has, you know, it doesn't mean the property tax can't change down the road, but that has nothing to do with this referendum.
Right.
And all this money is going just for preservation.
This is tiny, but if it said slight increase to EIT, annual tax, and then in parentheses, not property tax. You're not actually saying the words, there will be no increase, which just feel a little fiery, but you're still clarifying that it's not the property tax.
Right.
Does that?
Personally,
sort of
I
make
like
everyone
that
feel
better.
okay?
Yeah, because, and I think that's what my initial issue was, and I apologize, I didn't have time to digest the edit, that you made, Sarah. But that was kind of my, like, keeping it as much as the things that we're in control of, only to avoid any, because people are gonna come with their own arguments, you know? But I really do
That's
run through that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so just to say it back, slight increase in annual tax bill, not property tax.
No, slight increase in earned income tax.
Sorry.
It's just changing what you put on the end of it to, like,
And
And
then
then
just,
not property tax.
No effect.
not.
We're not gonna say no effect,
I mean,
Yeah.
because you're just gonna say not property tax. They'll hear all those words, but we're not in paper saying there will be no changes to the
Yeah.
property. Yeah.
And then going back up to number one is going to be preserve and enhance.
Character,
Preserve
and enhance the
enhance the natural beauty.
the character and natural beauty of the township, or just the character and natural beauty. That's what I wrote,
Of our township.
of our township.
Chris, I have a few comments.
Go ahead, Marie, if Sarah has her notes ready, maybe give her a second for her notes.
Preserve, enhance the character and enhance. What my brain is turned upside down.
Preserve and enhance the character and natural beauty of our township.
Thank you.
Like that. You ready for Marie?
I am.
Go ahead, Marie.
My brain is like.
Yeah, I agree that there has to be some notation, and I think I heard the way you're going to put it in regard to this is in regard to the earned income tax, and I think someone said they're going to put in parentheses, not property tax. I think it's important that somehow that be mentioned, because that is just such a hot button thing, the property taxes, that we don't want this particular thing that's tied, as Frank said, to the open space referendum. We don't want it to fall into that negative territory of property taxes. So however you said that, it sounded good to me. I know someone in the room made a comment about that. So I do agree with that. I think it needs to be differentiated. But the other thing I'm trying to figure out, and forgive me, I mean, we do tax returns every year. With the earned income tax, if we are asked, how will that be collected? Is that when you do your taxes each year?
It's
In other words,
collected.
this guesses, how will that be collected?
Well, it's collected now through through Berkheimer. So
Right.
nothing will change in your filing, because you should be filing the same earned income. It's a higher percentage of that, and then Berkheimer, we work with Berkheimer to separate that out into a different pot of money. Because right now that
Right.
1% comes in and it goes, and through Berkheimer, it's split. Half of that goes to the township, half of that goes to the school district. So that'll continue the way it's always been as you file, but it'll take out that slight increase more, and then it'll be separated out into its own pot of money. So the township will still receive that 0.5% for whatever we use that for, and then that other one is.
Right, because I could see us being asked by people when they hear about this, well, how will this be collected? Do I have to pay this? How will I pay this amount? I could just see that question coming up. But if it's all tied into when you file your taxes, you know what I mean? In other words, we're not going to ask you to pay this in the middle of the year. We're not going to ask you to pay it in the fall before the holidays. I could just see some stuff coming up.
I guess the simplest response is it's not a new tax, it's just an increased amount of however it's already being filed.
However it's being filed, yeah, okay.
When you file your tax.
Yeah.
Right, when you file your taxes is that would just be my comment, okay.
I was kind of writing down a suggestion for that no bullet at the top there, only because I do feel like, as a planner in the township, I'm slightly offended by that bullet, as if, that we had no control over. So instead of the ongoing risk of overdevelopment of township land, could we say something along the lines of, we have less opportunity to help shape desired development of township land? Okay.
You guys all
Wait,
want to
what
do
was
that?
the word again, Chris?
Less opportunity to help shape desired development of township land. That's a no bullet, because we don't have much of a seat at the table.
I would take out the help. which is just make it less wordy.
Yes. Good.
Less opportunity to
Shape.
desired development.
Of township land.
Thank you.
Semantics question, but is that like, it almost implies the township owns the land? Is that-
Yeah, that's where that's what I'm wondering, like, should we just take out the of township land,
Yeah,
shape desired development?
that works, I think.
And put uncertainty in there.
Just leave it, uncertainty, that's it. Uncertainty.
You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, uncertainty.
Yeah.
Do you wanna say less opportunity or less ability?
Well, there's already limited ability below.
So we're just juggling words around.
Less opportunity to shape desired
Very
development.
founded.
It I do look at it as an opportunity though, like what this whole thing does is it gives us an opportunity. We have the ability to shape, I mean, we could
I like the
rezone
way-
everything and, you know, sit in the courts and prevent all development. We have that ability.
I dare you.
Yeah, but we don't have a lot of opportunities to go in and say, yes, we, instead of this going for development, we want to try to purchase this, and we want to try to, you know, purchase half of what you're, you know, proposing, or, you know, we're gonna buy the whole parcel, and yeah.
Do you wanna say less opportunity to step ahead of development?
Ooh, I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, it's not quite right, but that's what you're saying. is
Yes,
You could do it by zoning, but you could get ahead of that,
yes.
to get ahead of development.
I think that we're too late for that.
But
Well-
are we trying to get ahead? I mean,
Yeah,
we're- we are
with
too late, and
whatever's
we're
left.
trying to get ahead.
I always look at it as and you know, I wonder, I like the comment in here, but I love that graphic that we have of the, we talk about it, the Pac-Man. So it's the 40% of undeveloped land, but only 6% of that is protected. And the development is kind of closing in and is controlling that Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're doing here. It's like, eventually everything's gonna be built out. It's either gonna be developed or protected. And we have limited opportunities to get ahead of that, and this, you know, kind of gets us higher at the table. I don't know how that helps the phrasing.
Well,
but-
I think you did just say get ahead, and I think that's also what you said. So less opportunity.
To get ahead of development.
And I think people will understand that, right?
That's pretty, I think that's even more blunt than
Well,
shape
have the upper
desired
hand.
development. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Possibility to
And it's
get-
also
get
more
ahead.
exactly what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
What is
All right,
it?
less
What's the
opportunity.
phrase now?
Less opportunity to get ahead of development.
Is have the upper hand too aggressive?
I do like that.
Be in charge.
Win.
Yeah.
That may be a little too aggressive, because if you're, it makes it sound like we're battling.
It also
But it's a great word.
A lot of
Ally, it's a great word.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we'll ever have the upper hand. I think we'll be slightly there.
Less opportunity to get ahead of development. Okay. And then
Sure.
uncertainty underneath
I'm not sure what we're trying to say there, but get ahead of development.
Get ahead of development interest. So if there's an undeveloped parcel and a developer approaches the landowner to purchase that and develop it, we can also approach the landowner to try to protect it.
Or maybe we approach them first.
Yeah.
We got ahead of them.
Instead of waiting to see it through zoning or see it through requirements to land development.
Do you want to use a different word than get ahead of?
I do, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't change it.
Do you think people will be confused? Because I mean, a lot of this is just to get them in, right?
Yeah.
This is to get them to the table and say, oh, I like that, don't really like that, and then you guys will talk.
Hopefully, yeah.
Have an advantage?
Do you know what we're talking about? The day it's coming up on Saturday?
I have read this paper
The
I'll fill you in about that.
from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh.
on Saturday. I don't know where though. Maybe you'll tell me where.
Yeah, when you guys are done with the, all the materials, I can kind of talk more logistics about
So we
Saturday.
may talk logistics.
Yeah.
So any other bullets? I think I have the bullets that we want changed. Unless we think of one for uncertainty, but I guess we don't have one for that.
Just put uncertainty as its own bullet.
Yeah, and then we'll just think people put uncertainty of what?
I don't want that.
And then the answer is, I'm not sure.
Yeah. We said it, it's right there, right? What about that Pac-Man graph?
No, that sounds really cool. I agree with you.
I mean, I can put it into the,
Was it part of one of the images you sent me?
it might have been, if I go to. This graphic.
Okay.
Where's the Pac-Man? We want.
Yeah, I could,
We want- we
it could
want-
be cool to like actually make it look like a package. I can't do that.
We could do that.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think you could add it into, like, right where you have it, out of the roughly 11,000 acres of land, 44% is considered undeveloped, only 6% of that is undeveloped and permanently legally protected from development. You could do something like that and then talk about how this helps to control that closing of the mouth or something.
So that's under, the Pac-Man graph is on our website.
I can send it to you again after this, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
oh,
send
and
you
I'll
just
look
a.
back at the images, I'm
So
sure.
can we put it in like that white space at the bottom there?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like call it out for
In there.
Because I'm also wondering about the MPC comment, like,
Where, oh, here.
like if you have to pull a comment out, do you want to pull that MPC comment out? I feel like it's kind of wordy.
It's your word.
I was gonna say, is that direct from my?
Yeah.
Okay. And so part of what I wanted on there is just to like point people to like if they had, like these are the full legal, but like if there's a way to condense that statement, basically like, we can't legally prevent development. This tool allows us to, this is a tool that we have available to try to combat that, for that last bullet. Instead of it being so wordy. Even though it's my wordy comment. But I think for a handout, so I don't know if you heard that, Sarah.
I
Talking
did,
about,
I had one put in, and I mean, if we're gonna be splitting hairs, I do think it is a bit wordy. I think the more blunt that we can just be about this, explaining it to people, I think it is better. I mean, because this is basically saying,
we can't legally prevent development,
right,
but this is a tool that we can use to help combat that.
I mean, that is perfect. Okay, boom.
And then that'll give you some space if you want to put this graphic like between those or under it or whatever. Because I think this graphic definitely, like, I mean, it's
So how
this
about-
graphic is explained in that second bullet in the right-hand column.
How about if we say the township is required by law to accept a fair share of development and to provide a fair process to review development? Therefore,
I'm
other
sorry,
tools
what
such as the
does-
establishment of the EIT for the purchase of existing open space are required to ensure the South Whitehall Township retains a balance between developed and natural areas, period.
I like what Chris said. I like what
And Emily, you were gonna ask about, like what's
I
fair.
don't know what
So
you're
part
saying. I
of
feel
part
like
of what I put on the website is for the like very for the people that like to go in and say you can't do this and this is like where do you have the authority, like that's where to give more so staff and even like the commissioners, that kind of, but I feel like these are really good opportunities to just reach people, like in the most layman's terms, this is what it is, you gotta get out and vote on this date because these are the things that we're doing with this, and here's why we can't, here's why we need a tax increase, because you can't just say no to development. Yeah, like, I mean, even though I may have written this one, I fully, would strike that and make it as simple, if you guys are okay with it.
Let's say it back and see how you feel about it. So it's illegal for the township to
just say no to development. I don't know if we need to get into fair share or a reasonable process. I mean, I think we can talk about that, but not in the,
Prevent development, I don't know, what I'm gonna say, just say no.
I'd say deny.
Yeah,
You can't just
to
deny
stop,
based on
yeah.
Illegal for the township to, it's illegal for the township to.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dinner just arrived. So I'm gonna listen in and, but I'm gonna mute, and if I have a comment, I'll let you know, but,
Where's your dinner, Marie?
what was that?
Where's our dinner?
I don't know where your dinner is, but I know mine's here.
That's grilled.
That's looking mighty good.
Meeting adjourned.
Um, the other comment I want to make, and I know we made it the last meeting, and something we shouldn't forget, is that this is a choice. You know, we forgot about that at the last meeting too, and then we were kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. It's obvious that we would like it to pass, but it truly is up to the residents, and it is a choice. It's not anything anyone's forcing them to do. And so I think that's always good, you know, to when we're there at community days, should we get any kind of, I'm going to use the word pushback, that's not the correct word, but I think you know what I mean, that we just basically tell the residents it's your choice. You know, here's the information, and as a resident, you have a choice. And that's what will be happening in November. Let us know, you know, let the township know, what do you want? So I think that's important.
Marie, the only thing I would say there, though, is I think it's fair for us to say that we're advocating on behalf of this and say, you know, the reason I'm here is because I think this is something that would be good for the township. It's
Right.
your choice, but, you know, I think I'd like us to be a little bit, I'd like to see us advocate a little bit for this in discussions with residents. So it's not just, here's some information, you make the choice. I think it's fair for us to say, you know, we're here because we think this is an important choice and we'd like to see the township vote in favor of this. But it's your choice, but,
Right.
you know, but be a little bit of a, you know,
Sure.
have a supporting tone to it in our.
Right. Okay.
Very well said,
What was
Frank.
the second part of that you were gonna say? Illegal for the township to deny development. There's one more piece of that.
This is a tool.
yes, thank you. This is a tool that allows us to,
How about therefore, the establishment of an EIT would be a tool allowing the township to purchase existing open space and retain a balance between developed and natural areas that maintains it. I don't know if you want to, and retains a balance between developed and natural areas. You want that?
I just.
Or do you want the whole maintains the quality of life that makes it, I call township the wonderful community?
I think we can strike all that stuff at the end and keep
What
it
was it that
shorter.
you said, Chris? just need
I
to
said,
know.
this is a
So
tool
good.
that allows us to combat that.
Great one.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep it that simple.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, because again, this is just a pamphlet for someone, like, I think, well, I would probably get more criticism if I wasn't as much to the specific dry language of what we're doing on the website. Whereas you guys have the opportunity to do a little bit more, like, get right to, like, here's,
Be informal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's helpful. I think that'll really help carry the message with people. I wanted to just add to Marie's comment. I know you guys have mentioned it before, and I think that's something certainly as you discuss with people, and I'll be there as well. Just to remind them, like, complacency is a no. Like, if you have any level of support for this, you have to actively vote for it.
That's a really good point. I wouldn't have thought to have said that, actually. That's a really good point to say.
Yeah, like anyone who's there that's in support, you have to remind, like,
Yeah, it's about,
you can't just say yes today or no, I'm not going to speak out against that, or yeah, sure. Like, if you agree with this, go out, vote yes. Like, that's the only way that this actually gets done, because if it doesn't get people to vote yes for it, it doesn't happen.
Then it'll be too late.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're not, you know, we're not coming to you. We're not knocking on your door and asking to vote. You know, you have to get up and go do your thing.
Do we want to change any of the verbiage on the back side of the flyer? What we're working on now.
Okay, it's 8:30.
Okay. So
The
no.
event is on Saturday.
So,
I think we just live with what we have.
I'll get this to you all tomorrow.
I mean, we all had a chance to look at it too, so
Yeah.
we're being fair,
Okay.
except for Chris with the last minute comment.
I know, and here's the thing, I felt so bad because I love it. I love what you guys put together, and I was wrestling with it. So I had like minor comments, but I wanted to kind of come in. I was like, I don't want to come in here and just, make all my, but I appreciate everyone working with me on that stung, Sarah. That stung to make it look like we're not doing any good planning and that we're overdeveloping the township. I get what you're going for.
Do better, Chris.
Yeah.
It was probably my fault, so. I won't throw Sarah under the bus.
See if you come back next year.
Oh, he is.
And just to
My
confirm,
board still has to approve it, so maybe they won't. So.
just to confirm, this is the 2-page, and then we have the 2 posters that are gonna be that size. That's why I brought that poster. Good. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't bring it tonight. I thought of it on the way. So should I just drop it off tomorrow or something? Or like?
Oh, you have the other poster board?
Yeah.
Sure, whenever. I'm here this week. Yeah, I'm not really going anywhere.
And then we'll have okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we okay on materials
I'll
then?
get this to you all tomorrow.
Okay, great. Logistics, right? So we gotta,
Yeah, so I can kind of run through stuff. I talked to Lynn Matula today. So the event is taking place on the eastern end of the park where the baseball fields are. You have Lap Road and Guth's Covered Bridge over here. Off of River Road is where you go into where the basketball courts are, if you guys are familiar with that area. So, Sarah, I think you said you're bringing the most stuff. Tent, a
essentially
table.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
By essentially.
Is there anything that you can't bring? I will bring a second table. I have a second fold-out table, but I might selfishly use an end of that for some other community
I
development
could get
stuff.
more tables too.
Yeah, Lynn was like, we might have some, we might not have some, so I didn't want to rely on it.
I mean, I don't have any folding chairs. Not that we need to sit down, but I don't know if anybody needs to sit down. I don't have any folding chairs.
I can bring chairs, but, because I don't know, we don't have a lot.
You're folding.
I mean, we can bring them. If we need to sit down, we'll just bring them.
I don't know what else they have their plans for already, but I think that they can find.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring a chair for myself, but
I'm
if we
bringing
could get a
mine.
couple of folding chairs, I think that'd be helpful. Because when we come in, so I think Lynn said between 1:30 and 3. I would suggest, we don't have a ton of stuff to set up. It's not like you're creating a whole thing.
No.
Like maybe a little after 2, you can come in this way. We're gonna be right here on the end of the parking lot, right next to the other township recreation table. I can come in, 2:30 or whatever and help you set up. We'll come in this way. Everybody else, I would suggest, unless you have something big to bring, go out here or even over here to this is the butterfly garden, if you guys are familiar with that area. And then you can either like walk across the pathway past the bathrooms over to where we are, or the trail goes all the way through now too. The trail's all connected. So even if you had like a wagon or like a wheeled thing, you can walk it from the parking lots to our area if you have extra stuff. Even if you're bringing, we kind of talked about like if you had books that you wanted to display, I mean, not give away, but like just things to help decorate the table. But I would suggest that only Sarah come in with her stuff immediately, and then you can leave your car there.
Okay.
And then I'll probably park over here. And then my table's not that big, so I can walk that over.
I can meet you there too if you want.
And where's, because I really don't know, I don't know.
I can walk
We're gonna have all that candy.
Where's the bridge?
I have a wagon and I'll put we can put. the
There's
tent
2
on the
covered
table.
bridges. This basketball court parking lot is closer to the Lap Road Bridge.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with like
What do you know in the
Oh,
park?
easel, I'm bringing
I
an
know
easel
nothing,
too.
and almost, I know where the bridge that you drive over is.
But
Okay.
that's where it's down on the left, right?
Right here,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all the way down if you drive over the bridge. Like this area you're familiar with, kind of, you know, this sort of spot. So you want to go down this road. This is River Road.
Yeah.
And then River Road goes all the way down. It's not that long. I'll just kind of go through it. And
There's a parking lot right there.
yeah. So this is the parking lot that you guys can go to. Sarah, you can continue to go, but I would suggest only having one car down there because there's very limited parking. You'll probably
And
have
I
to just
can
be.
move my car back, I don't have to keep.
You can leave it there just because like once you're in, then you'll be in,
Oh, yeah.
and then it's gonna be kind of tough to get out. So everybody else can kind of park here, and if this happens to get overflowed, I didn't know if you guys wanted to stagger time. If you okay, I'll be there the whole time, so at least there'll be. I don't know if you were gonna.
I'm probably gonna be the whole time, I have like my whole family coming, so they're just gonna be hanging out all day, you know?
Well, and that too. So like there'll be times where like we can have relief too. Like if you want to go, your
Maybe I'll
family.
do a little whip around.
Yeah.
You know,
So, okay, so
But I'll plan
I'll
to
meet
be-
you there too,
okay,
okay, in that parking lot?
and then you can hop in my car and we'll head up. I'll meet you in that parking lot and then you can get in my car.
She's gonna park at the next parking lot.
Where?
Down. Oh, I went past it. Down here.
Okay. I mean, honestly, they're all short walks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no need to move your car once you park it.
okay.
So where is she gonna park?
She's gonna come in here and then she'll probably park on this grass here. They'll direct you. Because this.
A lot with the basketball court.
Yeah. So this whole area, this whole parking lot is gonna be full of vendors, I believe. So there's not gonna be any parking here. Like there's gonna be huge fire trucks and cranes and all kinds of emergency vehicles on display. So I think what we're doing is the vendors are gonna park here. So there's very limited space for vendors. Pretty much only people who are parking their car to bring things.
Yes.
And that's where like everybody else can go over here, and then the general public fills in this way. They park this, and then they start to park down on the grass on the field.
So where will Sarah be?
Sarah will be here,
Okay, all right.
and then but our table is going to be right
Yeah.
down here. It'll be easy to see, so because I think other vendors are along through here, or maybe even down on the trail. We'll be in an easy
Okay,
spot
right.
to see.
So I'll just meet you at the first one and pick you up.
Just park, go there, park your car, I'll find you.
Yeah, you have the stuff. You get in and do your and then so they have. I think it's gonna be the same. Yeah, so like police department, county, all that's gonna be here, and then they'll have the kids entertainment stuff and the inflatables is gonna be right behind us. So we'll get a lot of action first. From what Lynn Matula was saying, people usually show up early. They do the kids stuff and all that. So I think we'll be busy right like at 4, even probably a little bit before. So probably be you, me, and you there right at the beginning.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe stay till 6.
Okay.
I only have one easel, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I only have one easel.
I have 3. I forgot that we bought some last year. So I'll bring them. Honestly, that'll fit. Yeah, I don't think you even need to bring an easel. So I'll just have these.
Okay, I'll take one.
And we need a canister too, right? Or-
Were you bringing one? If not, I have one.
I didn't hear you.
A canopy, a pop-up.
Oh, yeah, I have one.
Okay, we'll bring that, okay, all right, good.
Bring mine,
Sorry, I have a frog in
just
my
in
throat.
case.
You sure?
Am I bringing,
I've got like,
So,
5 kids who did sports over the last 20 years, so
Well, I don't want you to have to bring
it's
a whole
got
thing
wheels,
if it's.
I carried it
Okay.
all over the place.
so Marie, if you're still listening, Mark and Derek, are you planning to be there?
Yes, I'll come, with you, I'll come and take over.
You'll come at 6?
Yeah.
I was shooting,
8 till 8?
Yeah.
6 to 8, okay, great.
and I was shooting for the whole time, so I'll see what I have.
Okay, all right, okay,
I've got
then we should.
everything else covered. How's that?
Yes, I'm still listening.
oh, wow. So, well, if you're gonna shoot for the whole time, maybe I might wanna have it be done.
Yeah.
But we can work
We
that
can
out.
figure it out.
Yeah. So, really quick rundown, you're doing 3 tables, because then I'll bring 3 tablecloths. I only have 2 now, so I'll just bring.
How big of a table do you have?
Like a, like a,
6 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a 6 foot, but if we can confirm, if we can find some and set them aside.
What do you think?
At least like 28 foot, so I don't know if they're, I don't see what they else they're
alright, I'm
using
gonna
for.
bring 4
Yeah.
tablecloths.
I think.
Well, we're not gonna need 4
I think you could
tables. I think 2, potentially 3, because we'll do with you.
I think you could request it.
Yeah,
I think
and
it would show up.
my only thing is then I would maybe not bring mine, just from logistics standpoint or putting it, because I'll probably, it's a little bit more work for me to take the car seats out, put this thing down, and,
Yeah, there should be, I don't.
but if you
I don't
still
know
bring
if
yours.
It's totally fine, because my
There should be-
husband's gonna come later with the kids, so I'll have
Yeah.
nothing. So now, really quickly, we talked last time about having that box for people to put their talking point in or something like that. I have a box with glittery wrapping paper all over it that has the hole in the top, and then we just maybe just need to cut out little pieces of paper.
I
Do
can
we still
do
wanna
that.
do that, or?
I can bring paper and pens.
It's different, but it's good.
Way to get them to interact and do something at the table, and gives us a chance to, while they're doing that, just talk with them.
Do you have a sign that you wanna have there for that says like suggestion box, or tell us something like, what's your favorite thing about the environment, like whatever,
So we had talked last time and we said, what are environmental concerns?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to make a little sign for that? Just that way.
Yeah.
I'm also anticipating like, we might get, 10 people at once, and we have 3 people there, they're having conversations. That way someone can just, all have a bunch of pens and paper, and we'll have that little sign, so,
Okay, so you'll bring the pens, paper, and the sign,
yes.
and I'll bring the box.
Yes.
Should it be your environmental concerns?
Yeah, whatever you guys wanted to say, what are your environmental concerns?
Because if
For
we
the
just say
township,
town,
you should
Yes,
say the township.
yes, thank you.
That's sort of-
if we say
Yes.
town,
Yeah.
we have to say environment, we have to say township.
Your environmental,
What do you think?
environmental concerns.
It's
Do-
different.
Do we want them to talk about their concerns? Because if they get super harping on something that's you're doing.
That's
So,
what Tom put his
At
spin
the
on it.
last
That's why you
meeting,
can spin them and bring them back to the point.
but I thought you guys also wanted this for kind of future planning
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
Like
For
that's,
sure.
yeah, because I mean,
Yeah, if people wanna talk about something other than open space referendum, we wanna talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah, because that's a big
We're
piece.
gonna
of, like-
have those too, right, those flyers?
Yes,
Yep.
so, I can bring this and these, and I have a gigantic box of these. Also, right behind Derek, JP Mascaro dropped off those are recycling bins. So we don't have any recycling down at the township.
Right.
I've been down at the park. So I have maybe half a dozen of those that we'll have out, probably we'll strategically place it, but we'll have a couple of those near us. And then we'll have this, and we can kind of talk about that as a good little talking point. So I will bring those, I'll bring these. I only found one of these. I know we had some other ones. I can maybe steal the one that's out here. For your, she left a bunch of them up here, but I feel like maybe now she's using for stuff. I'll connect with her for the handouts.
What's in here?
They have one. I mean, I know she used
Colada.
Oh, nice.
It's not gonna-
See,
There you go.
that's what you.
We have 100 back, I'm sure.
Some are going for money, we're going for.
Cool.
Open a checking account, you get.
I wanted to ask you guys, do you want anything else? Do you want this was our work plan for the year. I don't know if that was helpful to have a couple of those on the table, just to like,
I don't think it hurts.
fill space, give people an idea what you do. I'll have probably a copy of the landscapes plan.
Not for handouts, but just for people to look at.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I might have a couple cool books I can just have there. That
This,
visual design stuff and everything.
What's
That's
it?
more my end.
I bring
These
in
are
kid
cool
books that that are about.
They're very
You think
cool,
they're
Frank.
cool, huh?
I think people find them very interesting.
Aw.
They have pictures.
I can show you my thermodynamic stuff.
Oh my God.
Cool is a relative
That's
term.
waters that I think I found very.
You're ready.
I'm bringing kids books.
There you go.
Marie, sorry to interrupt,
Yes.
but are you planning to be there on Saturday?
Yes, I'm not sure exactly when we'll get in on Friday. I'm hoping not too late. But I was thinking, if it's helpful, I could be there like 6 to 8. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
perfect.
Okay,
Marie, you'll keep me in line.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mark is the babysitter.
I'd like to have at least 2 of us there at all
Yeah.
times.
okay, so who else is going to be there then?
All of us.
Everybody.
No, I mean from 6 to 8.
Mark will be there.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there too, because I'll probably hang until the end to clean up. But honestly, once the crowd dies down, because the concerts will start then at 6.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it's not going to be that much to do, but there will be between the break points. But at that point, I mean, if you guys are there, I'll probably I'm trying to get my family to come out and I can kind of eat dinner and everything and just sort of hang. But I will be there throughout the whole time. Just so at the end, you guys can just get up and go, and you don't need to worry about I'll clean up whatever's left over.
Well, no, I have all that stuff. I mean,
Even if you want to take a table with you and leave if there's a time, I can kind of collect your tablecloths and everything like that. And
I'm bringing
Yeah.
like plants. I'm bringing flowers.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm
and
planning
then
on being
I'll
there
come back, I don't
through
know.
the end, just so that you don't feel obligated to stay and wait and get stuff out of there, take whatever. you
Well, I
want.
kind of have that little agenda like you. At one moment, I want to just maybe get some food with my family. And that's really all my only agenda.
Run
Otherwise,
through
I'm there.
are you gonna run through the inflatable thing?
For sure. We're gonna be there first.
Yeah,
so-
you're gonna be right there. Pass off doing laps.
So is the 6 to 8 a good idea, or what are you saying, Chris?
Well, I think that'll probably be the least crowded. I mean, here's the thing, Marie. Are you interested in the music, or you really just want to be there to talk to people? Because you probably won't have a lot of interaction with people. Even between the break, I imagine they'll probably have already stopped by a lot of the vendors.
Right. I just can't be sure.
Marie,
I
we're
don't want to
covered,
promise 4 o'clock, but it seems to me like you've got those spaces filled.
we're covered from 4 to 6, so don't worry
Okay.
about it.
All right, so I might even get there at 5:30. I don't know, but I
More-
don't
more
want to
the
not.
merrier. If you get there earlier, we're not gonna tell you to go home.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That sounds
I
good.
think I would look at it if you guys want to come and have an opportunity, say hey, here are the faces of the EAC. A lot of this is your exposure to the community, but there's not much to do there the whole time. I'm trying to think of some of the tabling events that we've gone to, Allie. There's definitely peak points where it's nice to have a bunch of people, but then it just dips off and you're kind of hanging around. And,
Who's the music?
what is the bands? Flirting with the Mob. They were there last year.
Yeah, I didn't ask you about last year's concert. Chris, come on. The year before that, it was a Billy Joel tribute band.
Chris, when you're talking about the break, what do you mean the break?
Like it was band break.
The band break.
Oh, the
So
band
they'll
break.
probably take a break. It's only Flirting with the Mob. So they play from 6 to 8. So they'll probably play a good hour and they'll take a break,
Right.
a little intermission, and then play towards the end. So yeah, it really might not be that busy after 6.
Are the bouncy houses staying for the duration?
They'll probably start to shut down around 6. I
That's
think a
what I
lot
was
of the
thinking, yeah.
it's a lot more kid oriented, vendor oriented in the beginning.
Mhm.
And then I think things kind of slow down. The food trucks might kind of stay for a little bit, but definitely a lot of the vendors will probably start to shut down around
Yeah,
6:30.
yeah, and if I'm sitting there and Marie and I are sitting there, there's no one there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to sit there like that.
And that's what I'm saying. I'll be there because I want to stay till the end to help
just kind of clean up
Right.
and coordinate and everything, so,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
so
look at-
no, it's,
Don't feel bad.
I like Marie, but after a while.
I love Marie.
Well, if I can get there, if I can get there at 5:30, like I said, I'm just a little unsure. But if I can get there at that time, that's fine. I heard somebody make a comment about it's good for the residents to see, the faces. Who are the EAC? So, I think that's great too. So I will do my best to get there the earliest that I can, understanding that from 6 to 8, things could die down pretty quickly. But yeah, I think it's important to make a presence, so I will do my best.
Do we make a motion to adjourn, or do you have more? Right.
The agenda, so
What?
there's more in the agenda.
Oh, is there? Okay. I didn't know that.
But can we, Chris, do you want to just spend a couple minutes on the open space referendum updates, or do you want to table that for?
I just threw it on there just if anyone had questions and just where we are on everything, but, yeah, it's moving forward. I went to the county, Board of Elections, so everything's official moving forward. I wanted to kind of say, we did talk a little bit last time about just the, what's missing from our outreach and just kind of awareness that it seems like there is a campaign in the works that will probably address a little bit more of that direct targeted outreach to residents, mailers, that sort of thing. And I think that could probably help with the presence at election day. I know that was kind of something we talked about, like it's not a very comfortable thing for EAC members, but certainly if you're interested in that, I know like you kind of expressed like, yeah, if you want to be there, if you need materials, if you want to just do that, I don't know. So you guys can kind of talk about your comfort of that, but knowing that there's this outside campaign, I think helps address that.
Oh, this is nice, Paul.
But that's all I had for that.
Okay, great.
And then I threw some dates on there, just for good measure. I saw some of the Pennsylvania Sustainability Week webinar series. I'll send this out if anyone's interested. I didn't see everything that's on there. They're doing the volunteer board candidate interviews. Do you have an interview scheduled?
Yes,
Okay, cool. So they'll be doing that. They do it all in once. Those are also public. I don't know if they're allowing people in the room for them, but you can like stream them. I think they're gonna have them live. I don't know if they're allowing interaction.
Is that new?
I don't know. I don't think so. The last one they did was really before I was here, but I think they had, because I saw like the videos of them.
There was nobody in the room when I was interviewed. I mean, just me and the board. I don't know if it was recorded or not, but there was certainly nobody there in the room with me.
It's probably only online, but I don't know if it was like it's recorded and then submitted, but I think it's gonna be live.
There's no pressure.
So,
No.
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no mention of, does anybody have any more questions for the candidate?
What was the foundation?
It probably won't be interactive just because that's hard to, but I mean, I think they're putting a link on the website for that, so. Let's see. Oh, just the October EAC meeting.
It's a lot of softball questions. So.
Is it?
You're a volunteer. You're not asking the hard questions.
I think I mentioned it last year, the EAC Fall Gathering. This is from the statewide EAC network through We Can Serve PA. That's in Malvern this year. There's not a lot of details available on that. If anyone has interest in that, once the agenda comes out, let me know. I've been trying to see if there's a possibility of us, supporting someone going. If you guys had an interest, it's a Saturday. There's a cost to the registration, but if anyone really is interested, let me know and we can kind of talk about that. I've gone when they had it together with another conference, and I think there's a lot of cool things that are helpful for people who are just like trying to figure out like what's being successful. And it's a great way to connect with other EAC members.
The other thing I'll throw on is that the EAC network is continuing to have the breakfast meetings. The next one's October 1st. I forwarded the email to everybody, so you have that if you're interested. I can't make this one, but I'll probably try to go to one of the coming ones just to show my face and see what we're, if there are any opportunities to collaborate.
Is that the one with the, is it Allentown hosting that one? Is that what you shared?
Superior Diner, I think it was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
I saw that someone shared something. There's
a presentation on plastic pollution.
Yes.
That I also there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's on a different day.
That's on a different day.
Okay.
Yeah, these practice meetings are just
Just
informal,
informal.
get together and talk about what you're doing and share it with other EACs. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 53. One second there.
Second.
All right, then the meeting is adjourned and we will see everybody on Saturday.
All right.